can also signal a major problem, or worse, an electrical emergency. So play it safe and leave it to the experts at Mr. Sparky. Trust our team of professional, clean, and friendly electricians. We'll get it done right and get it done safely.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Independently owned and operated, licensed in the respective state or county.
Embark on a flavorful journey at the Brewers Cooperative, located within the vibrant community hub of Stovehouse in Huntsville. Their brewery isn't just about crafting exceptional beers. It's a destination where culinary delights and local brews harmonize. Whether you're seeking a laid-back lunch or a lively dinner with friends, their diverse menu has something to please every palate. And with a commitment to quality and a passion for innovation, they invite you to savor the unique flavor of Huntsville's craft beer scene at the Brewers Cooperative.
Next time you're online looking for landscaping inspiration, open Instagram and check out Southern Gent Landscaping. They can help make your yard your dream outdoor oasis. Southern Gent Landscaping can handle it all, from landscape maintenance and installation to irrigation and hardscapes, even AstroTurf. Turn your yard into a landscape you'll be proud to show off. Call Southern Gent Landscaping at 256-509-6088. 509-6088. Southern Gent Landscaping. Professional landscaping performed with satisfaction guaranteed.
From the University of Alabama, this is Crimson Tide Today. Its daily update on Bama sports, and it's brought to you by Guthrie's. America's original chicken finger restaurant is now an official partner of the Alabama Crimson Tide. For franchise information, visit Guthrie'sChicken.com. Hello again, everybody. I'm Roger Hoover. On yesterday's edition of Crimson Drive, driven by NASCAR, we were joined by CTSN sideline reporter Damian Square.
Man, I love it, man. I love, to be around it. I've been away from it so long, man, for so long, professional career. And then, when I got out of ball, spending time with my son and kind of, implementing myself in his life and, help him reach some of his personal goals, man. But to get the opportunity to come and, hang around the guys and talk ball with you guys and just be so close to the Tide, something that's so dear to my heart, man. It's really uplifting, and I can see other things in my life making changes because of that good energy that I'm bringing in my life, man.
I'll have more in a moment.
Founded in Haleyville, Alabama, Guthrie's Golden Fried Chicken Fingers has been family-owned and operated since 1965. Like their famous signature dipping sauce, Guthrie's has been imitated but never duplicated. Using the family's original Southern Fried Chicken recipe, Guthrie's is still serving the best chicken fingers in the world, just like you like them, fresh, hot, and fast. When you want the best, go to Guthrie's, America's original chicken finger restaurant, and now an official partner of the Alabama Crimson Tide. For franchise information, visit Guthrie'sChicken.com.
We've got you covered for Alabama football against Tennessee on Saturday. Our radio coverage across the network will begin at 11:30 a.m., leading you up to kickoff at 2:30 p.m. Central. Listen on our full radio network, the Varsity Network app, as well as watch the live booth cam presented by Yay Alabama on all CTSN social media platforms. Crimson Tide Today is brought to you by Guthrie's. Crimson Tide Today is a production of the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
Welcome to Talkin' Ball with Scott Theisen and Drew DeArmond. Call into the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline now, 256-576-4977. That's 256-576-4977. Now, here's Scott and Drew.
There you have it. It's a Friday morning. We're off. We're live. We're running. We're brand new. We are Talking Ball. 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Scott Theisen, Drew DeArmond. Welcome in on a Friday. We're going to do our best to get you ready for a busy weekend, a busy night, a busy everything around the Tennessee Valley. And it was a busy night last night for high school football in the area. Parker Turley, the freshman quarterback for Buckhorn, makes his first start for the Bucks. He's impressive, throws for a couple touchdown passes, and Buckhorn, they secure a playoff berth thanks to a 23-14 win over May Jemison, and the Athens Golden Eagles lock up a playoff berth as well. We just don't know what seed they're going to be. They could be 2, they could be 3, they could be 4. We don't know.
No.
But they get a 54-0 win over Columbia last night, so they are in the playoffs. They're just a little topsy-turvy there in the region. And then Brooks, gets a win over Lexington last night, 45-6. That was a non-region contest. One of the few non-region contests we have in week 8, but we have a few of them across the area. That is one of them. But we have high school football last night, and we got high school football tonight.
Yeah, a lot of big time matchups with playoff implications, especially on our network. The Sparkman Senators are going to be taking on the Grissom Tigers. Sparkman has, especially with that win last week, on basically the last play of the game against James Clemens, they have nearly solidified a playoff berth under Coach Ronnie Watson in his second year. So they will go a long way tonight.
Yeah.
In doing that, if they can take care of Rich Dutton and the Grissom Tigers. So that's a big game on our network. Certainly Huntsville High has got a matchup dripping with playoff implications because Huntsville controls their own destiny if they can win the next 2 weeks. Now they have to go, the mantra's kind of been 1-0 for 4 weeks. They went 1-0 last week, 42-0 over Albertville. They became our Bryant Bank Team of the Week, but now it ratchets up. They've got to go to Florence, who's a very talented team under Coach Kenny Morrison. That will be over at historic Brawley Stadium, and Huntsville tonight at 7:00. That's a 7A Region 4 contest. They need to win that, and if they do, it heightens it would basically be almost a win or go home situation the next week. Against the Bob Jones Patriots. It would be the winner would get in, the loser would almost certainly go home. But you got to win this week. So both Bob Jones and it needs to get a W, and so does Huntsville. But if they do, it would heighten that matchup next week at Madison City School Stadium. So that's a big one on our network. Westminster Christian Academy. Louis LeBlanc's going to join us in just a couple of minutes. They got to go. They got to play North Jackson. North Jackson's coming off kind of a shocker. It was one of the shockers of the week last week.
Huge, yeah.
Yeah, 33-32. Plainview stays in the playoff chase by shocking North Jackson. By 1 point, it was North Jackson's first 4A Region 8 loss. And then, of course, Madison Academy, they're basically in must-win mode as they're going to host JP2 tonight. Yeah,
that Westminster Christian Academy game, North Jackson game, the winner of that one will take the inside track to getting a first-round home playoff game. The loser there, you got to have to – now, keep in mind, that is a 9-team region. So this coming week and then next week, most teams will be done with region play. That's actually correct. Have 2 more region games after this week to play. Yeah. Does Class 4A Region 8. Now, topsy-turvy would be created if James Clemens in Class 7A Region 4 would knock off Austin tonight. It's the second straight week Austin makes the trip over to Madison City School Stadium. If James Clemens would find a way to knock off Austin, that could create some chaos in that region because if Florence is able to get a win this week, Sparkman able to get a win, you got James Clemens, Austin, Florence, Sparkman, somebody could be looking out. Someone could be as high as the number 2 seed. So got all kinds of stuff going on there. But 97.7 ESPN The Zone will be your home for a lot of high school football. It all leads into the Woody Anderson Ford High School Football Scoreboard Show, powered by Lake Gunnersville Ace Hardware. It comes your way after the games tonight, and you'll be able to hear Westminster Christian Academy in action against North Jackson tonight. 97.7 ESPN The Zone 5. Josh Carey will have the call as well as Jimmy Lay.
We knew he'd do that at least once. Jimmy Lay will be on the color with Josh Carey.
With Josh Carey. And each week we do talk to the head coach of the Westminster Christian Academy Wildcats, Louis LeBlanc.
Yeah, and he's got a very busy morning. He's been kind enough to carve out some time to talk about this huge matchup in 4A Region 8 tonight over on the palatial campus of Westminster Christian Academy. Coach, good morning.
Hey, good morning, man. How are you guys doing?
We're doing good. And Coach, you've played the game, you've coached it. This nippy weather is my kind of deal, though. Woo! That means that when the grass is wet and it's cold outside, if you're playing with these kind of implications, this is why you work.
Oh yes, sir. This is definitely football weather. Been looking forward to it. Guys been dreaming about it since we started in June, and so it's time to do it.
Yeah, no question.
You got a North Jackson squad who they've been playing very good football all season long. They've been tough. They've been formidable. And now they come in a little angry after last week's loss, but still, nonetheless, the outcome doesn't change. You still got to get a W, but they're going to be a little angry.
Oh, for sure. And got to thank, my good friend Jeremy Pruitt for making them angry for me. And that was not very kind to him. Plainview's a great team. They're well coached and have gotten better every week. And North Jackson has been rolling like a steamroller, had a few things not go their way. But Coach Hollis, man, he's got a machine over there, and they're doing it. I remember one of my first visits to Stevenson, Alabama to coach against them back when Coach Rose was there, and I saw these people walking around with T-shirts that said, "We came to run the ball." And man, they could do it in North Jackson. Those guys can run the ball, and some really good football players. You can tell they enjoy playing the game, being physical, playing the way it's meant to be played. So should be a great opportunity for us tonight to see, what we're made of, what we've been doing, how it's working, and how we fit up that run and tackle, and should be a good night.
Well, and Coach, we certainly are hoping so. And but I think there's always a handful of moments during the regular season where if you make a playoff run, you always look back and say, okay, that was a gut check. That was a kind of a season turning moment. Talk about, starting off really well against Madison County on the road, but then they punched back. Coach Hancock and those guys took they took a lead into halftime, but then your guys played one of your best halves of football to shut them out and to win the game going away.
Yeah. So, I was talking with Coach Hollis this week about our game this Friday, and I think he said it best. Being in a 9-team region is tough, but we all feel like there's some really good coaches in this region, so that makes it even harder. Every opponent has an opportunity to do something special on a Friday night, and you better be on your game. And Coach Hancock, first year over there, and getting his systems put in place and the way he wants things, the way he wants his culture to be, and the guys are obviously buying into it. They played hard from start to finish, and we did come out and had some miscues, and we made some plays in the kicking game, but then we made some mistakes in the kicking game. And I told the guys, that kicking game is always supposed to be an edge for us. I felt like we made a pretty nice sword, and then we looked at it, and then we just banged it on the anvil. And so any edge we had just got dulled by the mistake. And so that's a point of emphasis. We went out in the second half and eliminated those kicking mistakes. And I made some. Based off of those mistakes, I made some mistakes in the first half of just some decisions to go for it or some decisions to kick it, and kind of got rattled a little bit with how the game was going in the kicking game, and a little frustrated. And so we regrouped at halftime, and the guys are always great to respond. Just I credit our coaches and their ability to connect with our players, to treat them like people first and players second, and that means we can share some hard truths with them because they understand what our goal is, that we love them, we care about them, we want what's best for them. But here's what we got to do. And sometimes that's easy to hear, sometimes it's hard to hear. But the kids are bought in, and to see them go back out and shut that group out, they had a steamroller at running back that was really tough to bring down, and be able to shut him down and then play great defense, and then the offense started clicking, and kicking game eliminated mistakes, and we were able to do what we need to do to get out of there with a win, and that's always positive.
Is that the hardest part sometimes about coming back from a bye week? Is that, you can be a little rested, you can be a little refreshed, but if you were in a rhythm before the bye week, sometimes it's hard to get that rhythm back early?
Oh, for sure. I mean, you're dealing with 14 to 18-year-old kids, and all their buddies are, going to the beach or the lake or just hanging out for fall break, and me and Coach LeBlanc is making them practice, even though we don't have a game. And we had 3 practices. I try to convince it. We had 3 practices in about 44 hours. So less than 2 days, we got our work in so they could go enjoy the rest of their break. But brought them back, and they were good. We watched a movie together. We ate meals together and that kind of thing. But it is practice, so that obviously is tough. And then getting back into it, again, Madison County's record doesn't reflect the work that they're doing, but to a 14-year-old, 18-year-old kid, you see that they're struggling in the win-loss column. And so that is also a compounded struggle coming off the fall break with kids that, were out of rhythm, and then they see, our opponent's struggling. everything's going to be fine. Why is coach working us so hard? And then at halftime, you get to pull the curtain back and say, guys, this is why we've been doing this, and now they see. And so that's always a struggle. I don't care what teams I've ever coached. It's always a struggle coming off a break. Fall break is a arch nemesis of, football coaches everywhere. But it's just another thing to balance and handle.
Well, speaking of handling, and as you said, the big physical rushing attack for Madison County, but and styles make fights, and it does kind of prepare you, though, for tonight. North Jackson's certainly known for running the football downhill, and I'm not sure or not, Coach, but I think Diego Holt might need Social Security by now. I've been watching him play so long.
So the running joke in our region, was all the coaches were going to show up at our graduation ceremony here on campus or here at Westminster last year and watch Brandon Mush walk across the stage, make sure he was gone, open the door for him, put him in the car and send him off. And I told Coach Hollis the same thing. I feel that way about Diego. The bad thing is Diego's a great kid. He's a great young man. You want to be angry at him. You want to be like, oh my gosh, but he's a great young man, a great leader, a fierce competitor, and the kind of guy that can rally his team. And I will be in Stevenson, Alabama, watching him walk across the stage, cheering him on to whatever God has for him next. But yes, he is a great high school football player. He's what it's all about. The kind of young man that that Coach Hollis says you're proud of him on and off the field, and that's what it's all about. And I think we forget that sometimes in this world of how much money can I make and NIL money and how do I get what's mine, and then you come across a young man like that the opponents respect him, his team respects him, coaches respect him, community. So you just love to see that guy have success. Hopefully not tonight, but you love to see him have success in what he's doing because he's doing it the right way.
What are a couple of those coaching X factors for tonight's game with North Jackson?
Well, we got to get lined up correctly on defense. Alignment and assignment are huge. Those are things that we can control. They can't come across the line of scrimmage before the snap of the ball and move our alignment. So we've got to be locked in there. We've got to know our assignment. They can't confuse us. We've got to be prepared, and I feel like the guys are prepared. And then we've got to tackle. We tackled very high in the first half against Madison County, and they got some extra yards, extended drives. So we have to be extremely disciplined in that respect with the running game that they have. They can throw the ball, so obviously can't just sell out and put our eyes in the backfield and try to stop those running backs. Our DBs are going to have to be locked in. We've had some injuries back there in the secondary that we've been overcoming, but the guys stepping in there doing a fine job of filling those spots. And as I mentioned earlier, we're very rarely the bigger team on the field. Mm-hmm. So that means special teams has to be a weapon for us that we know how to yield or wield, I should say, and don't use it against ourselves. And so that's going to be, I think, a tremendous part of tonight, and for our ability to give us good field position and pin them deep maybe, or not miss our kicks and get some great snaps and holds. So a little motivation for the guys to get back in gear in that after our performance against Madison County in the kicking game. And so I'm looking to see us rebound there in a big way.
And then what have you seen out of North Jackson defensively? We know about Diego. We know they want to run the football, but obviously they've had a lot of success in this region, with the record that they have. So they've been playing well and, in all three phases. But what have they done defensively that's impressed you, and what do you guys need to do to move the football, Coach?
Their defensive line is probably the best we're going to see to this point. Dominant. And so I always tell people probably my favorite position group on the field is the defensive line, because I believe those 3 to 4 guys can take over a game. They can completely alter the other team's offense and having to dedicate more bodies to stop what they're doing on defense. And so their defensive line is dynamic, and they're active, confident. They cause problems. So we've got a veteran offensive line, so it should be a really good matchup there to see what these two groups do and how they handle one another. It'll be physical, and you wouldn't expect anything less from North Jackson. And so I would say that their D-line makes those linebackers better because, man, linebackers are able to fly to the ball because so much attention has to be paid to those defensive linemen.
Mm-hmm. And then, Coach, I know this. You got a pick six from Carson Tinsley last week. The plus minus in this game, especially when possessions could be shrunk because of both teams running the football, are going to be very important.
Oh, of course. And, defensively, Coach Sloan has emphasized turnovers more than probably ever have. That since I've been here in 2013, the guys are jazzed and jacked to get one, to fly around to the ball. And so whenever there's that emphasis put on something like that, you're going to see increase. You're going to see improvement. And I credit Coach Sloan for selling that to the guys, and obviously the guys for buying into it. And so I can't tell you how many times in practice last week, Carson picked that off, that exact route. Got to the point where he's calling it out as the scout team's lining up. And so to see him do it, it was just a replay of what we saw in practice. And then obviously when the ball's on the ground, you're seeing guys fly around and diving on it, scooping it. And Davis Hollingsworth was able to scoop, didn't score, but was able to scoop a block punt. Guys are just keyed up and looking for it. So, again, if you're not the biggest team on the field, there's got to be an edge somewhere in special teams. And then obviously turnover margin has got to be in our favor.
Well, it's going to be a big game, no doubt. It's going to be a huge one for Westminster Christian Academy as they continue to jockey for playoff position and can still get a home game, which is so very important in this tough 9-team region. And as we said, Josh Carey will be on the call with Jimmy Lay, and so we were really looking forward to that on ESPN 97.7 The Zone. Coach, I know you've got some meetings to attend, but we appreciate the time, and we look forward to a great night for Westminster Christian Academy. Everybody bundle up. But that's what you want to do during football season. That's the kind of weather you want. This is why we play and why these kids work. And we look forward to you guys winning a great battle tonight, Coach. Appreciate the time.
Oh, yes, sir. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you bringing the same energy you did last week when you were at Metro Diner, man. I couldn't even stand with you there with all that food in front of you. I know you guys do an amazing job. I'm so blessed to even be able to do this and be on the radio with you guys. It's just an honor, and I'm thankful that our kids get the attention and the highlights there. And I appreciate everything you do.
Well, we appreciate it. And Scott's got some Uncle Keith's red sauce, so he's happy.
Now I want pancakes.
Now he wants can you put some Uncle Keith's red sauce on some pancakes?
Salsa on pancakes.
Yeah, that'd be good.
That's
right. All right, thanks, Coach.
Thank you, Coach.
Yes, sir.
Louis LeBlanc.
It'd be a little spicy, but it would be different.
I am not putting salsa on pancakes.
Well, I mean,
I am not.
I don't think it would be awful. I had it on lasagna. Brian Matthews is right. He said his wife put it on lasagna. Hell, I did it last night. It was great.
Lasagna is different.
And some pasta too.
Lasagna would work with salsa.
No, I didn't put it in the soup.
Salsa on pancakes.
I didn't put it on. I didn't put it in the soup, or on the bread. But I put it on the lasagna and the pasta, man.
I like putting salsa in the eggs with a little bit of cheese and then making a burrito.
Yeah, show all the listeners, man. Show them what Brian
we got the Uncle Keith's red sauce.
There we go.
This is the
That's
bottle.
what Scott's been talking about
with
a
right
black
here.
top
you
on
can
it there.
Get it at Publix, Piggly Wiggly, and where else did he say?
Throughout Montgomery, throughout the
but I know
state
we've
of
got
Alabama.
Publix here, and we've got
Publix.
There's a Piggly Wiggly.
Piggly Wiggly's probably
Gurley,
Foodland.
right?
There's a few Foodlands left.
There's one in Gurley.
Yeah.
But you can go out there and get it. Oh, it's good.
Yeah, it's really good. It's fresh. I mean, Scott was reading off the ingredients. They're all from Alabama.
They're paying us. They're not paying us to do this, actually. So I mean, that's the best part about it.
They sent us some.
They sent
We're gonna
us
give
some.
Uncle Keith the shout out.
Yes.
Because Brian's got that phone number, man.
Yes, he does.
He got the bat phone.
All right, let's get a break in. Talking Ball 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Got some reports of fog this morning from all across the valley. If you got a long way to go, especially, that fog may be a problem for you. Everything else seems to be in good shape. We had one wreck, University in Paramount, that was reported with an injury. They cleared it. It ended up being a no-injury accident. Have you tried numerous weight loss plans and nothing seems to work? Your hormones could be the problem. Find out with a free quiz at 2030huntsville.com. Captain Eck in the Valley Skywatch Traffic Center.
Week 8 of our high school football streaming network features Buckhorn at Mae Jemison for a chance to go to the playoffs over the air. Zone 2 has Madison Academy playing host to Pope St. John Paul II. Undefeated Randolph plays at home to Madison County on Zone 3. Zone 4 features the Sparkman Senators at Grissom. Zone 5 has the Westminster Christian Academy Wildcats taking on North Jackson. And over on Talk Radio WZZN, Huntsville is at Florence.
No representation is made that the quality of the legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
This is Wes Neighbors sitting here with Stan McDonald. Stan, tell everybody why you're the best damn dirt lawyer in North Alabama.
Yes, Wes, at Jacob Title and the Stanton Law Firm. You know I'm a dirt lawyer, and a lot of our friends know that, which means we specialize in real estate. Now, if you own real estate or you're buying it or you're selling it, you need to do a closing, but a lot of times there's legal issues associated with that. We're a great group to talk to. My son, Lewis McDonald, heads our commercial closing division, and we approach your real estate needs very seriously. We seek to be the premier real estate closing company in North Alabama, and we do it in such a way it shows that we're experienced, we're for your success. We like to handle your real estate needs the same way Coach Dan Reeves used to say, never let them see you sweat. And that's going to be to your benefit, too, when you visit us at Jacob Title and the Stanton Law Firm. Our website online is jacobtitle.com.
You want the right specialist for your recovery. At SportsMed Orthopedic Surgery and Spine Center, we understand every body is different. Your muscles and bones are unique, as is your body. Our SportsMed specialists offer innovative treatments and minimally invasive procedures, allowing you to quickly return to the life you love. Locations in Huntsville, Madison, Athens, and Decatur, and on the web at sportsmedalabama.com. Improving performance, improving lives. Specializing in simple and affordable rentals, McCurry Van and Car Rental can make sure you have just the right vehicle for your next family vacation, weekend getaway, or if you just need transportation while your vehicle is being repaired. McCurry carries Ford Transit vans and Mercedes Sprinter vans, trucks and work vans, and more. And they offer discounted rental rates for long-term rentals. Now with 4 locations: Athens, Muscle Shoals, Coleman, and Huntsville. Log on McCurryRentals.com to make your reservation now. That's McCurryRentals.com.
You know, this process is all about talking ball.
Listen to Talkin' Ball with Scott Tyson and Drew DeArmond.
What did they want privacy for? To just start talking ball.
Every weekday morning, wake up with Scott and Drew. It's Talkin' Ball. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
7:24 on a Friday morning, 256-576-4977. Scotty Scheffler will be your celebrity guest picker for College Game Day tomorrow morning in Austin, Texas, ahead of the Texas-Georgia matchup, in case you are wondering. Phone lines are full. Let's go out there. Mark from Spring Hill is with us. Good morning, Mark.
Morning.
Morning, guys. How we doing?
Good.
Hey, just this kind of crazy question, and won't be long this morning, is when Vanderbilt comes to, when Texas travels to Vanderbilt, I know Alabama bought up around 15,000 season tickets to get that ticket. How does Vanderbilt handle that with, you're going to have some Vanderbilt fans now that's jumped on the bandwagon. Do y'all have any idea what do you think happens? How do you get tickets if those tickets are already been purchased?
I mean, I'm sure a lot of the Alabama fans have sold those tickets either back to Vanderbilt fans that were interested or whatever other visiting team is coming to Nashville, because that's what StubHub's for, and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You put it up on an app, and then you just say, hey, these games are for sale. Vandy season ticket package, bam, and you sell it, because Vandy season tickets as a whole go for less than one Alabama football game in some cases.
So Vanderbilt is making shirts saying "Shock the World" or whatever on it.
Well, they need to be Ball State first.
They gave away 1,000 the other day, and coming up today at like 2:00 or whatever,
Yeah.
you can go to the bookstore in Nashville, and they're
Well.
giving away another 1,000 shirts. The plan for Saturday is that they want as many people in the stands wearing these shirts.
But it's
as
not
possible.
a shock to the world if they against Ball State. They need to beat Ball State badly because they've already vandied a game against Georgia State. So, don't vandy the game against because you beat Alabama, you beat Kentucky, you beat two really good teams, but don't
and
give
you
it
beat
back.
a decent Virginia Tech team who, by the way, got a win last night.
Yeah, they mudholed Boston College in a back and forth.
And
game.
Virginia Tech now is 4-2 or 4-3 overall.
Should be
2-1 in
5-2
the
if
ACC.
it wasn't for Mo, Larry, Curley, and Shemp.
Yeah,
in the
so
Miami
that's
game.
not a bad Virginia Tech team that they beat.
No, and so they're a good team. But just worry about the shock the world next week when you're going to be a double-digit underdog at home against Texas. Beat Ball State, okay?
There you go.
Well, I was at the Alabama Vanderbilt game. I live up here in Spring Hill, just north of there, and we had 80% Alabama, 20% Vanderbilt, and I'm thinking about going to the Texas game just because I think being so close, why not, right? And probably won't have to pay much for the ticket, but I think I may be criticized for this, but I think Vanderbilt beat us straight up.
They beat Alabama straight up, no question.
So, it's not the same old Vanderbilt. And, I'm not going to change my allegiances, don't get me wrong. But, I can respect the team that beat you. And, like I said, it's kind of nice to see a team like Vanderbilt that's been the door, what do we call it? The
doormat.
Doormat. There you go. And to see them have some success. But like you said, they lose Saturday, then, it's just,
you flush everything down the toilet if they lose Saturday after already losing to Georgia State. So, in other words, don't choke. Please, continue to win games. And Alabama certainly sure as hell needs them to because they've already blown that game and they've got to beat the Vomits to stay in prime college football playoff, position.
All right, Mark, thanks for the phone call.
Thank you.
Thank you.
By the way, the cheapest ticket right now
Yeah.
to get into the Vanderbilt Texas game is $148.
Well, again, one game for Alabama.
Right.
That's,
No, but that's going up though.
I still think it'll be 80% Texas fans
It will
again
be.
because that's just the way it is. I mean, there might be a few more Vandies, and then the student section will be packed. And I remember hearing Vandy students screaming that before the Alabama game, saying "shock the world," and they certainly did.
If Texas wins Saturday, and if Vanderbilt wins Saturday, there's potential that game day could come to Nashville.
It should come to Nashville. If not, then just it's fixed. It's a load of crap if they're not in Nashville. Get your ass to Nashville. That's complete garbage if both of them can take care of business.
Yeah.
But personally, I hope Georgia kicks the hell out of Texas because I'm already sick and tired of hearing about it. Like cow turds on here saying Texas has got too many businesses, too much money, and if Sark beats Georgia, they're just going to dominate the SEC. Nobody's ever going to. And if I'm Sark, I'm texting him fervently, "Shut the hell up, you moron! Every time you say something like that, you're wrong."
Oh, we got a good taste of this in SEC media days. Texas walked in like they were the kings of the league.
And so far, they've looked good.
Yeah. Brandon is with us. Good morning, Brandon.
October the 16th, 1993. I remember, I think we went to Golden Rule Barbecue, and we were going to the first game I would have ever gone to at Legion Field, Alabama versus Tennessee.
Interesting.
And this was back in the days of no StubHub or nothing.
Yeah.
You either found tickets in the classified in the newspaper, or you showed up in the parking lot and walked around till you found some.
Or you found somebody at a high school football game that was a season ticket holder trying to sell them or something,
Yes. That was real hard back then.
Right.
And I remember my stepdad was working over there putting up metal buildings. So we came over and we were not able to find tickets. So we go back to the hotel and get the TV out of the hotel, bring it over and hook it up to the generator in the parking lot with a large set of rabbit ears that they had bought at Radio Shack. I don't know if Bandy's ever seen any as big as what we had. These things, you could almost measure a first down with them when you stretched them all the way out. But we watched that game in the parking lot, and that was the tie game.
Yes, the David Palmer game. Yep.
Yeah, but it was a pretty day that day. It was sunny. I don't remember, but it was warm. It was pretty good. And I remember in that game, Palmer called quite a couple of passes going up the field, and then he just ran right end around on them and jumped over somebody and ran in the end zone, and we ended in a tie that day.
Yep,
and,
no overtime back in them days.
And that was weird. I just remember the game being over and my stepbrother being like, so we're not going to keep playing? And, nobody. There were some people smoking their cigars. They claimed they were going to smoke them anyway. But I just remember that game after the 92 national championship, playing that game and winning it. And then later on, we had to go back. And I believe, if I'm correct, didn't we have to forfeit all those games and Tennessee claimed to win in that game?
And which year?
93.
Yeah, I believe so, because of the Antonio Langham BS, but that was just a bunch of crap. Everybody knows who won the games.
Got you. But I was thinking, I couldn't remember if they made it.
Yeah, I mean, the beautiful thing about that tie is it felt like a loss to Tennessee because they thought they had the game won. I mean, if it had gone into overtime, Alabama was going to win. Everybody knew it. They knew it. Everybody knew it.
There was 2 minutes to go?
Yeah.
When they done that?
Yeah, and Pop, a.k.a. Deuce, told Jay Barker in the huddle, he said, just throw me the ball. Throw it near my ear. I'll catch it every time. He goes, they can't cover me. And they couldn't. And then everybody knew he was going to carry the ball in the 2-point conversion. They couldn't stop him either.
Yeah, he had direct snap, correct?
Yes, sir. It was just a single wing sweep.
Yeah, okay. That's one of the best memories I have of an Alabama-Tennessee game as a kid growing up that meant a lot to me, because leaving there that day, people didn't really know how to act because it was a tie. There were still people talking trash to each other in the parking lot, and it was going on and all that crap. But that was the first time I ever left, where I left the game, the only college football game I ever left, that there was not a winner.
Yeah.
Never forget that. Hey, Scott.
Yeah.
You put some of that hot sauce on some salmon, brother.
Yeah, I'm going to have to. I did not get a chance yesterday to try it, the salmon, that be it. But hopefully in the next day or so that we will partake in it. Probably tomorrow for game day at some point.
Well, roll tide, and if you get a chance, check out the chat on the Blitz when it comes up in about 2 hours, because it was lit yesterday.
Thanks for that phone call, Brandon. Let's get a break in. When we come back, we will get back out to the phone. We got a lot of stuff to get through. It's only just beginning. I know we got more calls. We'll get to you guys as soon as we can right after the break.
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. Temperatures only drop into the mid and upper 40s as we head into the overnight, early into your Saturday morning. Not going to be near as cold as we have been the last couple of mornings. Plenty of sunshine Saturday afternoon, but there also might be just a slight increase in the amount of cloud cover across the Tennessee Valley. Temperatures climbing into the low and mid 70s, dropping into the upper 40s as we head into the overnight, early Sunday morning. Plenty of sunshine Sunday afternoon. Going to be a little bit warmer. Temperatures climbing into the mid and upper 70s. A couple of folks could see the lower 80s. If you don't see the lower 80s on Sunday, you're probably going to see the lower 80s as we start off the new work week. Plenty of sunshine Monday afternoon, temperatures climbing into the upper 70s and lower 80s. We'll stick to the lower 80s as we head into the middle part of next week. There's also not a single drop of rain in the forecast. I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman on your home for ESPN Radio, 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
If hunting and outdoor recreation are your passions, it all starts with the right property. That's where I come in. I am Bo Butler with Southland Realty and Auction, a hunting and recreational land specialist and a Jackson County native who sees land through a hunter's eyes. Just as you trust your guide on a big game hunt, you can trust me to find the perfect property for you. Thinking of selling? Let me help you make your land attract buyers. Remember, Bo knows land. Call me at 256-609-0512.
Tom Luganville here for my friends at Woody Anderson Ford. Bobby White and his team take great pride in their service department, and you can see it the moment you walk into those beautiful new service lanes. And just like a championship team, they all work together to make sure your experience is second to none, whether you drive a Ford or not. Also, check out the gold certified pre-owned inventory at Woody Anderson Ford for great deals every day. Stop by and see them at Jordan and Sparkman or at Woody Anderson of Madison on Hughes Road, or visit WoodyAndersonFord.com.
Everything you need is just a click away.
I should pull up sometimes, silly.
Okay, almost everything.
Come on, pal. Tell your fortune.
Log on today. 977ESPN.com. 977 ESPN, The Zone.
Too fast, too furious.
There was some college basketball shocking news.
Oh,
in the last
man.
24 hours.
Out of nowhere, man.
Virginia head coach Tony Bennett is stepping away from the game, and it is not, and we say it is not health related.
Nope.
As to why he is stepping away from the college basketball game. How about this? He's a national championship coach, 2-time coach of the year, 8 total ACC titles. But he also, by the way, one of the wildest stats ever. He has won 6 NCAA tournament games. All of those coming in 2019.
Yeah.
He has lost his tournament openers in 2018, 2021, 2023, and 2024. But he's got the national title, and he is stepping away from the college basketball game.
Yeah, I believe he made in 15 years, he made the NCAA tournament 10 times. As you said, he won it all in 2019. That was the Auburn run.
Yep.
That was such a great one by Bruce Pearl. They beat Auburn in that Final Four semifinal game. And, he's stepping away at 55 years old because he just does not like the environment around college basketball. I can't say that I blame him in some ways. It's become a young man's game, and he doesn't like having to deal with street agents and legitimate agents and the NIL and the money and probably kids agreeing to a contract and then coming back in. Hey, coach, I had 25 against, Virginia Tech, and I need another, $5,000, if I want to go to practice, the next day. Get out of my office, you moron.
Yeah, if
you know what I'm saying?
If you want me on the court Saturday, I need another 10,000.
I need another 10 grand, coach, because we don't have written contracts and we're a bunch of scumbags, because that's what some of this stuff is. And so, because again, I heard Matt Moscona on one of his rants, and I respect the hell out of Matt, but he said, don't blame the kids. It's if the adults let it get this way. I agree with that, but it goes both ways.
That's true.
There ain't no renegotiating when you've already agreed to a contract. Just because you think you're outperforming your contract, you want more money. That's a bunch of bull crap.
Mike Gundy said it the best.
Yeah.
Mike Gundy said it the best.
It's
Once
time
the
to play.
Season starts, it's time to play.
No,
we ain't
we
talking
can
about it anymore.
renegotiate
NIL.
afterwards.
Yep.
It's a 1-year contract, and then it's just like it could work both ways. Guess what, dog? If we're paying you $100,000, you averaging 2 points a game, get your ass out of here, and we're not going to pay you anymore.
I want some money back.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Can we get some money back? It's like layaway. Give us some money back, dog.
Yeah,
Give us some money back.
You threw a couple picks in that game.
Yeah.
You cost us the game.
Right.
I want some cash back.
Yeah, we've certainly seen some turds out there. Guys not playing very well, so it works both ways.
It should work both ways.
If you're gonna try to renegotiate in the middle of a season, well, then we can renegotiate too. We just won't pay you ass, period. Or you can go in the transfer portal like a pussy, and I'm gonna say that on the air, and then
say that one
and leave. I mean, come on, man.
All right, let's go to Pat from Tuscaloosa. Good morning, Pat.
Hey, good morning, guys.
Morning.
Hey, Matt, first off, you don't have to worry about Texas down there. Because Kirby's going to go down there and Georgia's going to whoop their butt. And that's going to shut up a bunch of blowhards. Because they blowhards, there's no doubt about it.
I'm curious, are Alabama fans more rooting for Georgia in this one, or are they wanting Texas to win?
Well, I think it's going to be a great game myself.
I do, but I'm just curious, is it because of Kirby Smart that Alabama fans want to see Georgia win?
No, I don't want to see Georgia win because of Kirby Smart. I can't stand Kirby Smart. That the fact that he took a picture of our board and stuff when he left, blah, 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 bless his heart. I could care less if he won another game. I just want to see Texas lose. I mean, I hate Texas worse than I hate Georgia.
Well, that's probably the attitude. They'd rather see Texas lose than Georgia win, I guess.
Yeah, I was just wondering.
Yeah.
Yeah, and but guys, hey, this weekend I'm afraid this is I had us picked at about 10-2 this year, and I got us losing this weekend. I hate to say it, 35-28, but we win out the rest of the way. We sit at home and watch the SEC championship, and then we host a game and make a fairly deep run into the playoffs.
Well, like I say, Pat, if I were you, I would be hoping that Alabama could win the game, because I think there'll be a lot of 2-loss teams. There'll be a lot of jockeying going on. If Alabama wants to make the playoff, I think, especially considering one of them is a Vanderbilt team that we think is a really good team, but we don't know how many games they're truly going to win.
Right.
An Alabama fan should hope that they could win about 8 games at least and go to a mid-tier bowl game. But again, you've already had an unexpected loss, and so this would be a big win on the road against a Tennessee team that's still highly ranked. And I think Alabama's the better football team. I may be proven wrong on Saturday, but I think if Alabama's had a good week, I've heard they have, I think that they have the better quarterback right now because Nico is still developing. I think certainly Tennessee's got a good defensive team, and yet I don't think they've faced anyone the caliber of Alabama offensively. And if Alabama can win the plus-minus, if they can force Tennessee into some mistakes, then I think and make a big play in the kicking game, I think they can get the win, and that's why I picked Alabama 34-27.
Okay, so you like Alabama?
Oh yeah, I do.
All right. Okay. Well, like I say that if we have to lose 2 games, that this would be the one that I want to lose because I want to whip LSU and
Tennessee is a better defensive team than LSU.
Right.
LSU, a matter of fact, I would pick Tennessee against LSU straight up. I think Nussmeier's a good quarterback, and they have a good offensive line, but I still don't think LSU's that good. And I've always thought Ole Miss was. Once I saw Ole Miss against Kentucky, I knew they were overrated. So I think.
Can I ask you one recruiting question before I go?
Sure.
I don't get to ask anybody recruiting questions. Alvin Henderson had 10 touchdowns, 10 in one game, and lost.
Yep.
But according to Rivals, they have him ranked about the 34th player, just outside of 5-star range. That is it because of grade issues? I watched him last year in 4 games that I personally went to. He had over 300 yards in each game as a junior. But to have 10 touchdowns when he lost most of his defensive players, he lost his quarterback from last year, and he still had 10 touchdowns. He's a very, very special athlete, but undoubtedly Alabama's not going after him because they know what the grade issue is.
Well, I don't know about that. I think it's also playing against 1A competition. I think it's maybe hurt him a little bit, and that's why he's not considered a 5-star athlete because, again, he's dominated 1A comp, but they haven't won a state championship. And I don't know anything about his academic situation. I do know he had tons of offers, though. It didn't seem to deter people, and Penn State took his commitment. So then with the I don't know how the academic restrictions or what they're right now, but again, they relaxed everything after COVID. So we'll see what happens, but I'm hoping the young man certainly gets in school, and he's had a hell of a high school career.
All right, Pat, thanks for the phone call. You. All right, let's slip in Richard real fast before the break. Good morning, Richard.
Morning, Richard.
Morning, guys. You're talking about Tony Bennett, Alabama actually has an exhibition basketball game tonight.
Yeah, they do against Wake Forest.
Yeah.
Court looks good.
Although they got a hand, I think Nelson and Breitzel and Sherrill and Youngblood are out, not going to participate, but
right.
They actually got a basketball game tonight.
Are you going?
Now, I will be there.
Nice.
Be there.
Good stuff. I saw them put the court together. The arena looks good. It's a small venue, but it looks nice. And I know at one time earlier in the week,
1,500 or 2,500.
Well, something like that, and they only had 75 tickets left. I want to say earlier in the week. Now I don't know where it stands right now.
There were some of the real expensive ones were left like late yesterday, but none of the I guess I don't think anything's cheap. They used to have like a professional wrestling there, so back in the 70s. So talking about this 93, Brandon, about the 93 Alabama Tennessee game. I still remember when we put Palmer back for the 2-point conversion. Every Tennessee fan there, and even I think their defense. I mean, you just had a look of shock on their face, like, oh no, because they knew what was going to happen.
Yeah.
Tell you one thing though, people make fun of Mal Moore.
Yeah.
We were running the the Wildcat, in Mal Moore back in the '90s with Palmer.
No question.
Before like I said, a lot of people cut him down as an offensive coordinator, but I mean, like I said, he was smart enough to get the ball into David Palmer's hands. We were not a great offensive team, but like I said, he was smart enough to know to, you got one guy that's extraordinary. Let's get it in his hand.
Mm-hmm. They did. I always said that. I mean, they always talk about Wildcats and they talked about Darren McFadden doing it, but David Palmer was doing it 15 years before he even did it.
Yeah, and like I said, on that 2-point conversion, when they put him back there, like I said, that place just kind of, I guess, almost got quiet more than because everybody knew what was going to be. It was going to be a tie game. When as soon as Palmer touched the ball, they weren't stopping him.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, Martin Houston made, I guess he graduated. There was a really good block made by one of the fullbacks that led in that play too.
Yeah, like I said, people made fun of Mal, but like I said, he was smart enough to know, let's get it in Palmer's hands.
Yeah, no doubt.
He knew what to do with the ball.
He certainly did.
So, We'll see you guys later.
Thanks,
Thank you,
Richard.
Yep.
By the way,
Yep.
with Tony Bennett stepping away, think about this. The ACC will not have a head basketball coach with a national championship on their resume for the first time since 81-82.
That's crazy, man. Now that he's retired.
No ACC coach.
I just saw and I hadn't seen this particular nugget till this morning, but he had agreed in July to a contract extension through 29 and 30. And so, but I think he just got tired of dealing with the rigmarole before the season. And I can't blame some of these coaches because, again, it's like Jim Boeheim said to Jeff Goodman yesterday, you have to get some guardrails up with this NIL and transfer portal and stuff like that because it's just ruining the game, okay? Because the agents are taking over. Yeah. And, I mean, again, these kids, they deserve compensation. I'm not saying they don't, but there's got to be guardrails. You can't try to renegotiate in the middle of a season. You can't give me an extra $5,000 to play in the NCAA tournament. I mean, come on, man. Yeah. In other words, you give them an inch, they're taking 25 miles. I mean, that's just – there's got to be something done. And, again, they deserve to be compensated. And even six figures, I don't even care about that. Now, the $1 million stuff is stupid. But 6 figures, I understand. The schools are making money off their name, image, and likeness. But, again, this is not how it was supposed to be set up. And, as usual, the NCAA and the higher-ups and people failed, and these scumbag agents are trying to take advantage of it.
Let's get a break in. When we come back, Sean, we'll get to you on the phone lines, plus wrap up hour 1 of Talking Ball. All that and more coming up next.
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Got a crossing guard that's been struck by a vehicle at West Madison Pre-K. That's in the 4900 block of Wall Triana near Eastview. That one is reported as an injury type. We got Danville and Longview in Decatur. That one came in as a no injury, but it reported with blockage. No hose, no mask. You can ask Dr. Sandman, that's Dr. Sandlin, for the medically proven benefits of the Somnodent for sleep apnea and for snoring. Dr. Sandlin, 350-CARE. Captain Eck in the Valley Skywatch Traffic Center.
The company is Eagle Masonry and Insulation, but did you know they're also Eagle Landscaping and Dirt Work? Eagle can take care of all your landscaping needs, including irrigation, sod work, and planting, both plants and trees. On the dirt work side, Eagle can grade and build your pads, haul dirt in or out, and even do erosion control. Philip Love and his team can do it all for you. The website is the same, insulatewitheagle.com, as is the phone number, 256-755-1556. Give them a call and see what Eagle can do for you. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
Hey folks, this is Arthur Seaton, managing partner at University Kia, proudly saying Roll Tide and War Eagle. Stop into University Kia today and shop one of the area's largest selection of new Kias, including Fortes, Seltos, Telluride, and Popular Carnival, and fully electric EV6. View all the great specials at universitykia.com and get pre-approved in minutes so you can drive home your new Kia you really want, because we want to see you in a University Kia.
From heirloom diamonds to contemporary jewels, Loring & Company is the place to find something truly special. Whether shopping for a diamond ring for that once-in-a-lifetime occasion or marking a milestone birthday or personal achievement with a Rolex watch, you'll find just the thing in our edit of the world's most sought-after brands, including David Yurman, Roberto Coin, Marco Bicego, and Fopay. Expect a treasure trove of the world's most unique, even breathtaking earrings, rings, necklaces, and bracelets, making choosing just one piece a challenge in itself. Loring & Company Jewelers on Airport Road.
Here comes the, y'all don't really want it like, yeah. Here comes the, no. Here comes the, oh. Here comes the, y'all don't really want it like, yeah. Here comes the, no.
Here comes the boom. I guess maybe that's the phone calls next. I guess that's in reference to the phone calls. Sean is with us. Good morning, Sean.
Morning, Sean.
Good morning. How are y'all?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. Hey, the whole the Georgia-Texas game.
Yeah.
I want Georgia to win, and I do not hate Georgia. I respect Georgia. I respect Kirby. I respect their team. Now, some of their fans I dislike, but I don't hate anything about Georgia.
Yeah.
But I want Georgia to win because that's just a better win for us.
Right.
And here's my question. This is something I've been thinking about. It's probably not going to happen. But there is a scenario, the way the SEC is set up this year, that there could be a 2-loss team in the SEC championship.
Yes.
Could be.
Yes.
If that team that has 2 losses plays that extra game in the championship and lose that game, they still in the playoffs.
Could be potential.
You
don't know. You're not guaranteed. Just because you make it there doesn't mean you're guaranteed to get into the playoffs.
Well,
if you win
everything I've heard all year long on every platform, YouTube, every social media, if you make the SEC championship game, you're in the playoffs.
You're not guaranteed. I don't think you're guaranteed. If you win it, you're guaranteed. But if you make it there, I don't think you're guaranteed to get in.
Yeah, like I guess what Scott means, Sean, is if you make it, if you're a 2-loss team and you lose and it's your 3rd loss, then that could knock you out.
Right.
That would be the only thing that I think could do that, depending on who else is available, I guess, throughout these other sack conferences.
Yeah, that would make me almost, for some reason you had 2 losses, that'd make me not want to play the SEC championship game.
Right.
And that, believe it or not, Sean, that's been a debate among all of these, people that break it down. It's like, okay, if you get there with 2 losses, is it better not to get there with 2 losses?
That's why I was sitting there telling Pat that, you need Alabama to beat Tennessee because, of course, he had Alabama missing the SEC championship game and just waiting. But I still think there'd be a lot of jockeying going on there, too. If you're Alabama, and let's be blunt, this Tennessee team is good. I don't think they're great. They certainly aren't the top 5 team a lot of people had them being. So it's a game Alabama needs to win if they're truly a playoff team. I mean, you got a redshirt junior quarterback going up against a redshirt freshman. And, Tennessee's got a good offensive team, but I don't think it's as good as some of the others we've seen. It just comes down to they got to try to find a way to stop Dylan Sampson. Are they man enough to do it? If they can't stop Dylan Sampson, they're not going to win anyway. And then half the defensive staff's going to get fired.
Yeah, and if Alabama does not win this game, if they don't win out, I say we don't even belong in the playoffs anyway. So
right. But thanks for
either way.
Thanks for the phone call.
There's only one.
Go ahead.
Finish
it up. Finish your thought, man.
I respect Auburn.
Right.
I don't hate Auburn. There's only one team I hate, and that is Tennessee. That's why I love the 3rd weekend in October. This is the game I look forward to the most every year. It's like going to Neyland Stadium's like going to the world's largest garbage collection convention.
Thanks for the phone call. Let's get B Rich in. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, fellas. It's almost like Sean was setting the table for me. Because,
this is Richie's favorite week of the year. Yeah,
it's my favorite week of the year, fellas. My favorite week of the year. I'd be remiss if I didn't want. I need to wish my kid a happy 20th birthday, man.
Oh.
We're getting old, man. I got
A-Train, 20 years old, 2-0. She's not in the teens anymore.
Right. She'll be coming home for the weekend. So
nice.
Hopefully Saturday about 6 o'clock, hopefully we'll be lighting them up. I'm going to make my trip down to the humidor today to pick up the goods. And
I thought you were going to say she was going to come home in orange.
No.
Hell no.
On that. Hey, I raised my kid better than that, Scott. That's true. We don't do orange at my house. So you will not find an orange item. So
no.
She went to Grissom, and when I had to go to sporting events, I just wore white. So we rocked with that.
That's nice.
Yeah, I'm excited about it, man. I hope they play well. The game has lost a little bit of luster. I'm not going to lie, but it's a manhood check game for me. These guys got to. We're gonna test some physicality and some want to, and if Alabama shows up with some drive and determination, I think we'll be singing "Rocky Top, you'll always be a pile of crap to me. Screw you, Rocky Top. Go to hell, Tennessee." Enjoy it, fellas.
Thank you, Derek. Appreciate that.
Thank you
very much.
It's a big weekend.
It is.
It's a big weekend, Alabama, Tennessee.
I mean, for folks that grew up here, that grew up around it, grew up Alabama fans, Tennessee fans, it's a big week. No doubt about it. It like Richie said, it's lost a little bit of its luster with the expansion of the league and things of that nature. But and Tennessee struggled for a while, but it looks like they're on the come up under Josh Heupel. They certainly beat Alabama with a lot of help from their friends. As I pointed out to Tony Basilio yesterday, he's talking about how Tennessee is one of the most penalized teams in the Southeastern Conference. I said they sure as hell weren't in 22.
Did Phil Fulmer help make this more of a hate rivalry?
Oh, no question. He ruined it because he's the biggest scumbag in the history of mankind. And that's the PC version. I could go Buford T on him, but I'm not. I've already had my one word of the day.
But you weren't supposed to say.
But it wasn't exactly a cuss word, so.
Anyway. All right. Let's get a break in. We got to wrap up hour one next. No, we just actually wrapped up hour one. I mean, I don't know where this show's going. Man. I do know we're going to break, and I do know our Team of the Week coach will join us next.
Yes, he will.
This is Brent Musburger's VSiN Action Update on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Check out VSiN's catalog of original podcasts, daily and weekly programming to keep you in the know when you're on the go. Only at VSIN.com. Now, here are the latest lines from my guys in the desert.
Top 25 college football tonight. Number 2 Oregon puts their 6-0 record on the line at 1-5 Purdue. The Ducks minus 4,000, Purdue plus 1,800. The over-under 60.5. The Ducks favored by 28. Number 7 Alabama tangles with number 11 Tennessee. Both teams are 5-1-0. The Crimson Tide favored by 3. Over-under 56.5. Tennessee plus 135. Alabama minus 155. Number 1 Texas battles number 5 Georgia. The Longhorns favored by 5. Georgia plus 175. Over-under 56.5. That's the VSiN Action Update on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. I'm Chuck Sanders.
WCZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
SportsMed is the official team physicians of the Rocket City Trash Pandas. And if the pros trust SportsMed, you can too. SportsMed provides every service you might need for complete orthopedic care, specializing in orthopedic surgery, sports medicine, joint replacement, spine surgery, neurosurgery, and podiatry. And they offer their own brace shop, in-house full-body MRI, physical therapy, walk-in clinic, and so much more. 4 locations and on the web at sportsmedalabama.com.
This hour brought to you by SportsMed Orthopedic and Spine Center. Online at sportsmedalabama.com. Welcome to Talkin' Ball with Scott Tyson and Drew DeArmond. Call into the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline now, 256-576-4977. That's 256-576-4977. Now, here's Scott and Drew. Each week, they lace it up. Each week, we'll present our Team of the Week.
Get it in here. I got one thing to say.
So it's time for the Bryant Bank Team of the Week presentation.
So yesterday we announced over the airwaves that Huntsville High would be our 97.7 ESPN The Zone Bryant Bank Team of the Week. Yesterday, you and I made the short jaunt over to Huntsville High. We presented the Crimson Panthers, and with our good friend Herman Stubbs from Bryant Bank, we presented the Crimson Panthers a check for $500 for being the 97.7 ESPN The Zone Bryant Bank Team of the Week. We did that yesterday. The one thing we've not done, and we normally do it each and every week, is talk to our Bryant Bank Coach of the Week.
Right. And now we have him for our weekly visits here since he's part of our network, and you'll be able to hear Michael Seal and myself on the call, and we will have outstanding NFHS coverage from Justin Carter, who does a great job also getting the video out there to the folks that want to tune in on the NFHS network and watch these young men compete. And it's certainly a big game tonight. Huntsville High coming off of probably their most complete performance of the year, a 42-0 dismantling of Albertville. Now they need to take that momentum and go 1-0 this week against a very talented, Florence Falcons team coached by Kenny Morrison. There's a lot of ties between these two coaching staffs because there's a lot of former Decatur Red Raiders on each side that worked for Jerry Adcock. And, of course, Whitesburg Christian Academy we honored last week. But this is a huge opportunity for the senior class for the Crimson Panthers. And, of course, we were honored to be out there with Herman Stubbs of Bryant Bank to give them a $500 check for their program. And now they've got a big opportunity tonight, and we look forward to being on the call on 97.7-2, and that is our news talk station. And Jimmy Gay has been kind enough to join us on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. Coach, I know you've been doing this a long time. Love this cold weather for football. How are you doing this morning, sir?
Oh, I'm doing great.
Well, I mean, talk about the week of prep, Coach. There seemed to be a lot of energy at the walkthrough yesterday. Your team, it's been an up and down journey as you're trying to reset the culture here at Huntsville High School. But you've played yourself in position to where you control your own destiny. If you win, you're in, and that's all you can ask for. Certainly, there's some opportunities I know you'd like to have back earlier in the season, but for the here and now, your team's coming off a really good performance, and you have a chance to win your way in.
Oh, there's no doubt. Each week, we try to stress to them, preparation. This is the biggest game we'll have this Friday. I mean, it's like that every Friday, and that's what we got at our mindsets. That's where we got to be. But, it's from week to week, it's no different. You take each day and you prepare and try to do the best you can.
Do you talk about what's at stake, or do you just talk about the fact that you just got to win this week?
Oh, we talk about this week. We take one game at a time, one day at a time, one practice at a time. We don't, there's no need to look ahead. We got a game with Florence. We play them at 7:00. And that's the only thing we're worried about. We want to go out there and execute.
Well, hey, Coach, I know you've gone back and watched the film of the Albertville game, and it was a slow start for both teams, but you kind of previewed that with us last week. You're very transparent. You said that Albertville had a good front seven, and the biggest thing was they'd given up explosive plays, and that's how a lot of teams had beaten them. That's how your team got on top of them. With the 88-yard catch and run from Lawson Neighbors that set up the first touchdown from Will Carter. But to kind of talk about how the game unfolded with your team and how you felt like they performed.
We did start off a little sluggish. We had a turnover.
Right.
Then we had I think we gave up they faked a punt on us, and our defense responded. We put our defense in a bad position. They were dealing with a short field. But after we got those pregame, I guess those early game jitters out of the way, we did respond quite nicely as far as being able to move the ball down the field. We had a good throw and catch with the quarterback and Lawson Neighbors. And then after that, we were kind of able to establish the run on offense.
And I know you love to run the football, especially in the two tight end formation. I thought you guys kept chopping wood, and then certainly Jackson Spencer got going. I thought you were able to wear them down in that third quarter, Coach, and begin to get the movement you wanted up front.
Oh yeah, I'm a true believer. You've got to be balanced. We got to be able to throw and catch, also, but you also got to be able to run the ball when you want to. And our offensive line, as the game went on, we were able to take control of the game up front, as far as the offensive side of the ball. And I think our defensive line did well too. They were not able to run on us, and they were just throwing it up, trying to hit the deep ball. And we was able to defend that.
Well, Coach, let's talk about tonight. You make the drive over to Florence. The Falcons, boy, I mean, they are a physical bunch.
Oh, yeah. I think defensively they do very well. They have some weapons on offense that can hurt you, but they line up all over the place on defense, and they bring a lot of pressure. We're just going to have to keep our head up and respond to it.
And then, Coach, I know the kicking game is going to be very important in this one. As we said, Albertville kind of threw caution to the wind. You don't really see 3 fake punts in one game. They did that. They were successful on 2 of the 3, and that's part of the way Huntsville had to get their legs underneath them. And certainly, as you said, as the game went on, you responded. But kick return is a very dangerous part of the game for this Florence team. They scored on 2 returns last week, had 1 called back. So the tackling and the staying in your lanes and your being gap sound is going to be very important, I would think, in this game.
Oh, there's no doubt. Every week, special teams plays a big part in every close game. The team that usually does well in it, doesn't give up a block or doesn't give up a long return, is the one that generally comes out on top. Those are game-changing type of plays where if you return a punt or block a punt or return a kickoff, and those are kind of game-changing type plays in any big game that I've been involved in.
Do the keys to the game pretty much stay the same for you guys this week as they have been all year?
All year. The keys to victory is never going to change. You got to hold on to the ball on offense. You got to swarm tackle on defense, and you can't do anything. No stupid penalties.
Have you seen you guys cut those out a little bit? I mean, have we improved
in
that area?
We have. Early on in the first 3 or 4 games, we averaged a lot of turnovers, interceptions. I think we was averaging a little over 3 interceptions at one time per game. We've kind of cut that down last few weeks. We've done a better job of controlling the football and not doing anything stupid. And we also cut out a lot of our procedural stuff, procedural penalties on offense. So, we are making headway in those type of penalties and turnovers.
No question. And Coach, how did you think your young quarterback responded? Because he did throw the early interception, but I thought afterward he settled down. I thought the touchdown run was a great read by him in the zone read. He kept the football. He was able to slither through and score. He has kind of a knack of that inside the 10. But how did you think your team responded offensively after that? The turnover.
They did well. I think we responded very well to that. They did what they were supposed to do. Defense came out and got us to stop, got the ball back. We were able to go back. We still have confidence in our quarterback and threw it down the field.
Mm-hmm.
And they responded like they needed to.
And then, of course, we know what's at stake for this team tonight. As you said, ball security is going to be very paramount. But I would think also, winning the time of possession and extending some drives, you got to make an explosive play or two. And then, of course, tackling return guy Jashad Pearson is going to be important, because with Pearson too, Coach, we were kind of talking about that yesterday. They line him up everywhere, not just returning kicks, but we might see him at quarterback in a wildcat type situation. And also, I know, of course, they try to get him the football in other different ways.
Oh yeah, he's all over the field. A very explosive player, and they utilize him at a lot of different positions. We've just got to be aware of where he is when he's in the game.
No doubt. And then Kalen Triplett's another one. They have multiple guys that can take it to the house via the return game, no question. And then, of course, we know they won the game basically with executing in the kicking game at Bob Jones. This is a very capable team overall, Coach. When you've watched the tape and you've looked at it, besides the simple fact that you need to win the plus minus and not turn it over, what are some of the other keys you think, maybe offensively and defensively, to getting a big win on the road against Florence, which would be, I think, the biggest win of your first season, and certainly keep you alive for the playoffs next week against Bob Jones?
And it's a spot Huntsville's not won in a long time over in Florence.
Yeah, and lost double overtime last year to this team in Huntsville, 23-20.
Oh, well, I tell you, the key for us is that we got to establish ourselves on offense, and we got to move the ball down the field. They've got a great kicker. He usually kicks it in the end zone, so we're going to get it the ball on the 20 when they kick off. We just got to make sure that we get a couple of first downs and move the chains and start playing on their side of the field and not give up big plays on defense. So, that's it. It just remains the same. We've just got to move the ball on offense.
Well, Coach, one of the things too, I mean, and we're also previewing the game, but we're also previewing the fact that you are this week's 97.7 ESPN The Zone Bryant Bank Team of the Week. What does it mean for, you guys have put in a lot of hard work. What does it mean for this team to be named Team of the Week?
Oh, I tell you, I'm proud for the seniors. They've and this football team, we work tremendously hard to be where we're at right now. And we're not where we want to be. But these young men, they've sold out. They have worked hard every single day. We've just had some bad breaks along the way. But, I'm proud for them to be recognized because they do deserve it. They do deserve it because they've worked very hard to be where they are right now.
Well, we certainly look forward to the call tonight, making a safe trip down. It'll be, of course, Michael Steele and myself, and we'll be joined by Justin Carter and bring the video to all of the great folks out there that want to see the Crimson Panthers and hear us. We certainly look forward to that, no question about it. And we always enjoy calling Huntsville Crimson Panther football, and it's been a fun journey. This is why you play. This is why you work. You got these kind of games dripping in playoff implications, and it's a chance for Huntsville to apply their wares and perform against a really good opponent tonight and bring back hopefully a big 7A Region 4 win. Well, Coach, we appreciate the time. Safe journey. I know you guys are going to be leaving around 3 o'clock to bust down to Florence, and we'll see you there at Brawley Stadium. But again, go Big Red, and thank you.
Hey, I appreciate all y'all do. Go Big Red.
Thanks, Coach. Jimmy Gay, Huntsville High head coach, kind enough to join us ahead of tonight's showdown with Florence. Let's get a break in. 256-576-4977. Phone lines back open.
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Got a wreck northbound on the Parkway on top of the Drake overpass. They're reporting it with injury and possible entrapment. We've got Whitesburg and Bibb Road. That's north of Drake. It's reported with an injury. Nawyer and Alpha Lane. That one came in as a no injury. Parkway north of Mountain Gap reported injury, but they canceled Himsey, and they're transporting the crossing guard that was hit on Wall Triana West at West Madison Pre-K to the hospital. Officers, construction workers, and first responders put their lives on the line every time they step on the roadway. You can make it safer for them. Slow down or move over. It's the law. Captain Nick in the Valley Skywatch Traffic Center.
From opening night to Super Bowl 59 in New Orleans, don't miss a second of the NFL this season. Hi, this is Kurt Warner of Westwood One. Join our crew each week for the best in primetime NFL action. Monday night, Sunday night, and Thursday night football, plus marquee games on Thanksgiving, Black Friday, Christmas, and more. Westwood One is the exclusive radio home for every primetime and postseason game. It's right here.
Right here on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Tom Luganville here for my friends at Woody Anderson Ford. Bobby White and his team take great pride in their service department, and you can see it the moment you walk into those beautiful new service lanes. And just like a championship team, they all work together to make sure your experience is second to none, whether you drive a Ford or not. Also, check out the gold certified pre-owned inventory at Woody Anderson Ford for great deals every day. Stop by and see them at Jordan and Sparkman or at Woody Anderson of Madison on Hughes Road, or visit WoodyAndersonFord.com.
AL cert number 21014.
As the calendar turns to Halloween, make sure you get more treats than tricks. Thomas from Talon Heating and Air is with us. Don't let those ghosts and goblins get you on Halloween.
Yeah, we're not too worried about the ghosts and goblins this Halloween. We'll come out, we'll do a free second opinion like we always do. We're offering $49 tune-ups to make sure that you're ready for the fall and the coming winter. And then we're also offering free heat exchanger checks. We'll come out, we'll check your heat exchanger, make sure you don't have any leaks and don't have to worry about carbon monoxide getting in your house.
And Talon Heating and Air won't ghost you on this Halloween.
If you call us, we'll definitely get to you right then, or we'll get right back with you. We pride ourselves in same-day service as much as possible.
Let the people know how to get you.
That's 256-503-4490, or if you want to hit us up on our website, that's talenthvac.com.
The Talon Heating and Air give you plenty of treats this Halloween.
If hunting and outdoor recreation are your passions, it all starts with the right property. That's where I come in. I am Bo Butler with Southland Realty and Auction, a hunting and recreational land specialist and a Jackson County native who sees land through a hunter's eyes. Just as you trust your guide on a big game hunt, you can trust me to find the perfect property for you. Thinking of selling? Let me help you make your land attract buyers. Remember, Bo knows land. Call me at 256-609-0512.
Listen to the Bama Recap Show, presented by Lawler's Barbecue.
The tackle. Williams, 2 catches, 2 touchdowns, 2 electric early
on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
All right, college football news and notes here real fast. Not news and notes.
Right.
I don't know. Andrew Hughes.
Yeah.
Did you see this? Andrew Hughes put this article out. It's entitled USA Today calls Hugh Freeze a petulant child.
Oh, Lord.
Did you see this?
I didn't say that.
Patrick Kahn he writes for USA Today, and he is no fan of Hugh Freeze.
Right.
He says, and I quote in his recent article, "The good news is that Auburn didn't play this past weekend, so quarterback Peyton Thorne didn't have to worry about being thrown under the bus again." Kahn prefaced by saying, now for the bad news, the Tigers are still searching for their first SEC win of the year. The Missouri Tigers are up next for Freeze, who stated he is looking for guys who will fight for 60 minutes of football. Perhaps if you fell on the sword every once in a while, instead of acting like a petulant child in your post-game pressers, they might be willing to play harder.
Wow. Pretty harsh words there from, you said Patrick Kahn, right?
Patrick Kahn from USA Today.
Interesting. He obviously probably won't be getting called on at a Hugh Freeze press conference.
USA Today must have something right now against Auburn, because they put out 5 overpaid college football coaches.
Mm-hmm.
The most overpaid in college football. No, they put Billy Napier in that equation. They put Hugh Freeze from Auburn in that equation. They put Luke Fickell from Wisconsin.
Oh, come on. He's in his second year. They're 4-2 for crying out loud.
And the other two might not come as a surprise. Mike Norvell from Florida State.
A little bit right now.
And Trent Dilfer from UAB.
Lord.
Those are the 5 overpaid coaches that the USA Today puts out there.
I mean, how many fans per game is UAB averaging right now?
Not many.
No.
Not many. Trent Dilfer, by the way, his total compensation package.
Yeah.
$1.45 million.
Yeah. He's definitely not earning it. It's been brutally ugly thus far.
UAB is 5-13 under Dilfer, 1-5 this year. And the rock bottom, of course, was delivered by our very good friend John Summerall, who
70.
put up 71 against the Blazers.
Wow. I haven't heard his name start coming up for the Gators, man. John, he's winning these games. He could be moving on up again.
Look, John Summerall right now is being loved in New Orleans.
Oh, I know he loves
they thought the world was going to come to an end when Willie Fritz left.
No, they did a great job.
And they got John Summerall, and Troy has kind of took a step back. Troy
a little bit. Lord, I was watching that the other day against my boy Gio.
By the way, Gio Lopez continues to do some great things for South Alabama. Does he not? I mean,
they're going to have a renegotiation of that at the end of the season. I can tell you that. They want to hold on to him and fluff. The freshman tailback from Aniana. Good grief.
Yeah.
Auburn Tigers may come calling.
That's where we're at in college football, isn't it?
Yeah.
And now you know why Jerry Kill left New Mexico State, because he said the exact same thing. He's like, look, I got tired of Division I teams coming in here and trying to raid our cupboard. And that was, health reasons were why he left Minnesota. Health reasons were why he left other spots. But he left New Mexico State, kind of like Tony Bennett leaving Virginia. He left New Mexico State because he just got flat out tired and sick of these Power 5 schools or Power 4 coming in and raiding the cupboard. He didn't like it.
I can't blame him.
There was NFL football last night. The Denver Broncos score a 33-10 win over the New Orleans Saints. Wasn't it week 1 and week 2? Everybody was in love with New Orleans.
Yeah, they got off to a 2-0 start.
And
Clint Kubiak, he's a genius, offensive coordinator.
Can't do anything wrong.
The Saints are electric. Yeah, they're like the Cowboys. They both suck.
And the Broncos are now 4-3, 3-1 with Bo Nix as
that was even, and I'm sure the Saints fans felt even worse watching their Super Bowl winning coach bring another organization into New Orleans and burning their house down
with a rookie quarterback.
Right.
By the way, it was a Pinson Valley kind of night last night.
Oh, yeah.
Kool-Aid McKinstry from New Orleans and Patrick Nix.
Ask for a trade, please.
And not Patrick Nix, Bo Nix. Patrick Nix was there, though.
Yeah.
He was in attendance last night in New Orleans, and now he's back there for Central Phoenix City tonight. But that was your NFL football from last night. Spencer Rattler got the start, though, for New Orleans.
Please come back, Derek Carr. Please come back. We need you back, Derek.
Spencer Rattler has achieved his dreams, though. He's started in the NFL. And you did have a pair of Major League Baseball games yesterday. You had the
Yankees lose. Yankees lose. Yankees lose.
They did. In extras. 7-5 to the Guardians.
The Mutts are done. They're
and 10-2 was that final last night.
Beat down.
Shohei Ohtani, top of the first, solo home run. The Mets did answer in the bottom of the first, but after that, it was all Dodgers.
Don't even need Freddie Freeman in the lineup. You're so rich. Don't even need him. You got an ankle problem. Just take a couple of days off, dog. We don't need you. We got so much talent on this team. We got $1 billion payroll. We don't need you. Just take a day off, dog.
In the middle of that in the middle of the postseason.
Yeah.
Just take a day
He
off.
might be on the lineup. We don't know. We don't need him, though. We got Shohei Ohtani.
Who just hits home runs. Chicks dig the long ball.
And steals bases and does it all. They can't even pitch, but it don't even matter. So, I mean, and then what's crazy to me in the playoffs, so many bullpen games. Like, what the hell? I mean, but that's the way the game has changed. So, Dodgers are loaded, and looks like the Mutts are about to be put out of their misery here in another couple of days.
Well, that series has not been close. One game has been
it's
close
been 4
in that
blowouts
series.
and 3 of them to the Dodgers. I mean, this stuff's just been shellacking. I mean, I'll give the Mets credit. I mean, what a run, especially after I think they were 24-35 at one point. Then had the best record in the National League down the stretch, but they just don't match up with the Dodgers. They don't have the pitching depth. They don't have the lineup depth. They're dead in the water.
So there you go. Major League Baseball and NFL news from last
Our only
night.
hope is that the Guardians all of a sudden get hot. Otherwise, it's going to be a sorry-ass World Series with the Dodgers and the Yankees, and who gives a rat's rip, and I won't watch a damn inning of it.
Have you watched any of it to begin with?
I did watch a few innings yesterday just to watch the Mutts get beat down by Shohei Ohtani and the Dodgers. But, just to check in to see what the score was, and it was a massacre. But and then I did watch. I think I saw I actually left the room right before the beautiful walk-off 2-run homer by the Guardians, but I heard the announcer going ballistic, so I knew something bad had happened for the Yankees.
You were opening up your Uncle Keith's Red Sox.
Yeah, that's what I was doing. That's exactly what the hell I was doing. Putting it on lasagna. Thank you, Brian Matthews and Uncle Keith.
Oh, yes. Uncle Keith delivered. Uncle Keith, like he's not my uncle. He's not our uncle. He delivered.
I mean, he came up
literally
with the name.
delivered.
No,
Uncle Keith literally delivered.
Literally did.
Literally delivered.
With bubble wrap and everything.
Did you play with the bubble wrap?
No.
Okay. I didn't know if you'd just sit at home and watch some sports and just play with the bubble wrap.
No, I was wanting to eat some Uncle Keith's, man. Wanted to try it after you've been ranting about it, and Brian's comes on and pubs it all the time. It's good stuff, and it's local.
Your SEC spreads, though, just so you know, going into tomorrow morning, 11 a.m. Auburn traveling to 19th ranked Missouri.
Yeah.
Missouri sitting at a 4-point favorite in this one. Your over/under is 49.5. Auburn needs that one in a big way. Oklahoma welcoming South Carolina. Oklahoma only a 1.5-point favorite at home over South Carolina. Remember, Oklahoma is missing their top 5 wide receivers in this one. They may get some back. I did not see the injury report to see, but in the Red River rivalry, they were without their top 5 wide receivers.
With that defense, it's going to be a low-scoring game, but with both those defenses, really. But I think if Carolina takes care of the ball, they got a shot there. And don't forget,
41.5 is your over/under.
Shane Beamer with his extensive history as an assistant coach at Oklahoma as well.
Mississippi State hosting Texas A&M. Texas A&M an 18-point favorite on the road.
I got to believe A&M will handle Prosperity there. I know that some people think it might be a trap game, but I think A&M will handle it.
I think they're saying that because Mississippi State played within 10 of Georgia.
Right.
That's why. Arkansas and LSU. LSU is still a 2.5-point favorite on the road.
That's my upset pick. It's the Arkansas Razorbacks. I think they get it done against LSU.
Vanderbilt now a 26.5.
Just handle Prosperity, okay? Don't choke.
26.5.
Let's go.
Over the Cardinals of Ball State. Texas, Georgia. Now Texas a 5-point favorite at home over Georgia.
I took Texas in a close one.
And Kentucky is a 1.5 favorite over Florida.
I would probably
your spreads.
That's another one. I'd probably have to take the Gators in this one. I know that Kentucky's really good defensively, but you also, how is Lagway going to handle? He's only other game he started and gone wire to wire was against Samford. Okay, but he hasn't done it against an SEC school. Can he protect the ball well enough against that really good Kentucky defense? And I question how many points Kentucky can score if Florida keeps showing the defensive improvement there. I would probably take the Gators in a 24-20 type game.
Let's get our final break in. When we come back, we got to get in Bob Gotze from Madison Academy, SportsMed Orthopedic Surgery and Spine Center, helping us bring in Bob Gotze next.
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Got a couple of wrecks northbound on the Parkway, one at Drake, one at Mountain Gap. Both of those are going to turn out to be no injury. Got one on the Parkway southbound at Bob Wallace. That one may have a minor injury involved. Got one on Whitesburg at Bibb Road. That's north of Drake that Page did out with injury. And we had a crossing guard hit by a vehicle on Wall Triana at West Madison Pre-K. Shoal Scholar Dollars Legends in Concert Series is bringing Grammy Award winner Kathy Mattea to UNA. Tickets for the November 24th Winter Gathering are available at shoalscholardollars.com. Captain Nick in the Valley Skywatch Traffic Center.
Specializing in simple and affordable rentals, McCurry Van and Car Rental can make sure you have just the right vehicle for your next family vacation, weekend getaway, or if you just need transportation while your vehicle is being repaired. McCurry carries Ford Transit vans and Mercedes Sprinter vans, trucks and work vans, and more. And they offer discounted rental rates for long-term rentals. Now with 4 locations: Athens, Muscle Shoals, Coleman, and Huntsville. Log on McCurryRentals.com to make your reservation now. That's McCurryRentals.com. Ann Adams with Berkshire Hathaway Rise Real Estate is the one name to know if you're buying or selling real estate. With years of local experience, Ann Adams offers buyers in-depth knowledge of the local housing market and will narrow available properties down to those you'll be interested in so you can save time when shopping for your new home. If you're ready to sell, Ann offers a seamless process using accurate pricing and expert negotiation skills to make sure you get a fair price for your home. Call Ann Adams today at 256-337-2625 or log on bhhsriserealestate.com.
Not looking or feeling your best? No energy for the things you like to do? Ready to look and feel younger? Make your appointment at Advanced Life Clinic, one of the region's foremost destinations for patients interested in looking and feeling their best. Specializing in advanced laser treatments and weight loss, male and female rejuvenation to offset the effects of aging, and more. See how Advanced Life Clinic can help you enjoy your life again. Call 256-882-6555 or log on advancedlifeclinic.com.
It's time to get ready for game day. That means Alabama football and tailgate. Whether you're tailgating at home or at Bryant-Denny, visit Brooks & Collier for North Alabama's largest selection of premium grills and smokers like Big Green Egg, Blaze, Delta Heat, Memphis, and Traeger. Satisfy any palate with our wall of rubs and seasonings. For all your tailgating needs, visit Brooks & Collier at 813 Meridian Street or at brooksandcollier.com. An Alabama tradition for over 75 years. Roll Tide.
Big thanks to Sportsmed Orthopedic Surgery and Spine Center, dedicated to providing care that improves lives, helping us preview our next game, which, by the way, you're going to hear on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone 2. Madison Academy, the Mustangs, looking to gallop into the playoffs, but in order to do so, they need to lasso in some wins.
Nice little metaphors there, Scott. That's like a talent heating and air commercial.
Oh, at its finest.
Yeah.
At its finest.
And that's another one, another theme for you, Scott, a rodeo.
Oh, we haven't done that one yet.
Yeah, I hadn't done that one, but I certainly know this. The Mustangs galloped into New Hope, and boy, they performed well on the road last week. You heard that with Glenn Laird and Steve Moulton on the call. 52-0. The Mustangs take care of business, and now they will get back to it at Bill Washington Stadium tonight. And, of course, you'll hear Steve and Glenn on the call as the JP2 Falcons are coming to town. These are must-win games for Madison Academy. They're jockeying for the playoffs, trying to get into the tournament. They played a very difficult schedule, both within the region and outside of the region, and it's preparing them for this run. And I know Coach Bob Gotze, who's now joining us on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline, had to be pleased with the way his young team responded last week. Coach, good morning and welcome back. How are you?
I'm good, guys. How are y'all?
We're doing well. And, Coach, I know you were excited about the week of practice last week before you were going on the road. You were playing against a team in New Hope that's put up some video game numbers offensively, but your team dominates the line of scrimmage and gets a shutout against a team with Leighton Pohl and some offensive weapons. After watching the film, how did you think your team performed?
Well, we were pleased. I mean, it's not like we have played terrible.
Yes, sir.
We've just hadn't been able to kind of put it all together. We did that somewhat in the first half. We got off to a really good start. And, defensively, we have really, really,
gained some momentum, here over the last, 2 or 3 weeks, with maybe the exception of the first half of the North Jackson game. I feel like we're growing, there like we need to. Just excited. This team needs some confidence. It needs to it's time to get on a roll, and hopefully that will provide some momentum and confidence for us as we go through this very important 3-game stretch here.
Is that what I mean, Coach? Is that a sign that a team, a young team like yours, that didn't have a lot of returning snaps in certain positions? Is this a sign that, okay, hey, we are turning the corner? The younger guys are now starting to play like older guys. We're getting production from a lot of our older guys. Is that a sign that this team is progressing?
Well, I think so. I think it's pretty evident defensively, maybe a little bit more offensively. We still had not clicking, offensively at a consistent enough basis. We still missed opportunity at explosive plays, even though we provided some explosive plays. Josh had a couple of big long runs. AJ had a long run. We missed some more opportunities in the passing game for explosive plays. Then get to special teams. We ran a kick back. We had a pick six. So we're getting explosive plays in other places. And then when you talk about offensively or really across the board, it's just that consistency that you need play after play, that you hope continues to build. As we've been more consistent as the season goes on, we're going to have to continue to prove that, especially in these next 3 games.
Well, Coach, and I know you talked to us at our media day, which just seemed like a week ago. It's flown by, and as this team has developed and this season has unfolded, I know you talked about how young this team was, especially on the offensive line and at the tackle spot. How have you seen the progress of this offensive line as a whole? As this season reaches this amen corner this last 3 weeks?
I think it's been steady. I think it's been steady improvement, up front, just as you start a freshman, 2 sophomores up there. And I think all across the board, it's increasing, gotten better, each week. And we just need that to continue, to build. I think maybe here, especially Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, they may have had their best week of practice as they're hopefully gaining some confidence. And it just really, a lot of that comes around to confidence in terms of, actually seeing some success from the hard work that you've put in. We've taken our lumps this year. No dodging that. No way of getting around it. And that that hurts your psyche a little bit. It hurts your confidence a little bit. But our guys have continued to battle, and when it clicks, we're obviously going to be on our way. And the only way for that to click is just keep showing up and fighting and battling, and that's what these guys have done.
And Coach, you look at the schedule, and you are in a unique region where you have 9 teams. And so while others are playing their final region game this week, even after this week, you still have 2 more region games to kind of get into that offensive rhythm, keep going with this groove.
You're right about it. I mean, we're just kind of getting started here as we have 5 teams left, fighting for, 3 spots for the most part. And we all play each other here over these next 3 weeks. And it's exciting. It should be fun. And at the same time, it's an opportunity for us to play at our best. And that's kind of our deal. I mean, it's always been that way. Is you want to be playing your best at this time of year. You need to be playing your best at this time of year. You almost got to play your best at this time of year. And if you don't, then, you get to watch other people in the playoffs and stuff like that.
Well, Coach, I know defensively, I was very impressed with your group, and I, had the privilege of calling the Arab game. I know it didn't turn out the way you wanted, but I thought your team had some bright moments, and I thought you could see the potential of this defense starting to, kind of get comfortable in their roles and could be big down the stretch. They certainly got a shutout last week. They're led by AJ Rice, who I've been talking to Steve Moulton, and we talk to you each week. He seems to be doing what a senior should do, especially a high-level prospect as himself, playing very, very well, playing with a lot of physicality. But the people around him, and there's a lot of new pieces, but you had some veterans come back in the back end as well. But a lot of guys look like they're getting comfortable in their roles, and that's big this time of year. To have a defense that you're confident in going down the stretch of 3 weeks where you're basically in must-win mode.
Well, that's true, and we'll try to play to our defense, and they have played much better, and like I said, AJ has played much better as the people around him have played better.
Good point.
We've gotten some guys back from injury that's helped us as far as depth, whether it's those guys that are coming back or whether it's been the guys that's had to play while they were out. We got valuable experience that really helps us. So we've got some rotation going on up front. We've got some rotation now at the linebacker position. We got a little bit of depth, even though it's young, in the back end, which is kind of the strength of our defense, which is our back end, as they've turned in some big plays. The other night, Michael Wiggins had an interception. Khalil Green had another pick six. So we've been solid back there, and that obviously is going to have to continue. But going back to, as you mentioned before, it's going to be won or loss up front. I think we're playing much better up front because Lovett's done an excellent job, starting completely over up there, battled through some injuries, and we're as healthy as we've been up there for the most part. And they're playing better. Coach Crawford's done an excellent job with his young offensive line, and, they're playing better. We just need that to continue.
Let's talk about St. John Paul Catholic tonight. When you look at them, you break down the film, what kind of catches your attention?
Well, they play extremely hard, and they're where they're supposed to be, doing what they're supposed to be, doing. And they're not going to give you anything. You're going to have to go out and execute it well. They put up 40 points or more the last couple of weeks, so we're going to have to be on top of things defensively once again to get those 3 and outs and get the ball back to the offense. And we're our personality offensively this year is not maybe going to be as high flying, scoring the points that we scored the last couple of years, but that's okay. We just got to score more than the other team. So we'll play to our defense and look for our chances offensively, and hopefully, as we mentioned earlier, that we can play at a more consistent rate offensively, and then take advantage of some of these explosive plays that's been available for us.
And I know you had to be happy for Josh last week, breaking a couple of those long runs, because as you told us, Coach, he's another guy that's been a little banged up, hopefully going to get healthy down the stretch of this season to help you reach the playoffs.
Exactly. He played through probably shouldn't have played against A-Rab, but he battled through it that night and was a little more healthy against North Jackson, and then probably last Friday night was as healthy as he's been in probably a month, and that continues. And you can just kind of see, he feels so much better, a lot more confident, as he walks in the halls and things of that nature. So, he's a vital part of our success and has been for several years here. And so we can get him going, churning out those yards. And then, as he proved last week, he's certainly capable of busting the big one.
Mm-hmm. And then finally, I know you talked about Coach Crean. I know you know him very well. His son was a big part of your program now at the University of North Alabama. But and you talked about how hard they play. But for you guys, what's a couple of keys to winning tonight? I would think a quick start would help a lot.
Well, we've tried to emphasize that again, because that's it's kind of been our MO for most years to kind of get out slow. And the games where we've been most successful are the ones where we got out fast. So that's been a big emphasis for us. Again, this week is to get started early. Of course, it's homecoming. There's been a lot of stuff going on, but that was one of the things that we addressed early. We want to enjoy it. We want to participate in it, but we got to be focused on what we're doing. And I think our guys have handled that. We've had a good week of practice. Not maybe a great week, but we've had a good week of practice. But getting off of that fast start is always key, especially with a team similar to ours that needs confidence. And you don't award confidence, you earn confidence, and we keep dabbling with it. We keep getting close to it. Hopefully, we can build off of what we did last week.
And then, Coach, my final question to you is: you've done this a long time and built football teams. How do you keep a team's confidence up even when they face adversity? Do you have to approach each team differently depending on how young they are or experienced? How do you approach each team and make sure and try to keep their confidence up? Because confidence is an important thing to execution in football.
Well, you're exactly right. I mean, confidence is huge in anything you do in life, and we try to be honest with them, and we do a lot of talking one-on-one. We do a lot of meeting and just talking about the situation and trying to dissect that situation, and using examples of things that are going on in the world, previous teams, but the biggest thing is regardless of where you are in life, whether things are going good or bad, it's about showing up every day, battling, working as hard as you can work, taking care of the guy next to you. All right. And then the biggest piece that I think that we can help young people with is there's some toughness that's required in overcoming, what life throws our way. And, being honest about the situation in terms of where we are, I think has been good for this particular group, is they realize, hey, this is just a situation we're in, and it's up to us to battle through it. I think they've accepted that challenge, and have fought as hard as they could fight. And, and in the end, they're going to be rewarded. And I think our guys believe that. But, I guess to sum all that up, Drew, is we just kind of stay true to what we're all about. And that's work as hard as you can work, do what you're asked to do, be as disciplined as you can be, take care of the guy next to you, and be tough. And those are the 4 pillars or principles that we try to live by every day. And it's even more important, now as we, have had some inconsistency.
Well, we look forward to the call tonight. Going to be a big one over at Bill Washington Stadium. Steve Moulton, Glenn Laird on the call. A lot of playoff implications. Madison Academy looking to continue to strengthen their position against the JP2 Falcons. Coach, we always appreciate it. Good luck tonight. I know this is football weather. You talked about that wet grass and the cold weather. That's what it's all about. But good luck tonight. We appreciate the time.
All right. Thank you guys very much.
All right, let's get our final break in. Tomorrow's headlines will wrap us up next.
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
2 wrecks on the Parkway on the northbound side. Had one right on top of the Drake overpass, and the other one just north of Mountain Gap. They reported injury in both of those, but they canceled Himsey. Got one on the southbound side at Bob Wallace, also reported with an injury, but they've canceled Himsey on it. Got Nawyre Road and Alpha Lane still trying to clear. And we had the crossing guard hit on Wall Triana at West Madison Pre-K. They've already transported from that one. Don't let the cooler temps catch you without heat. D&L Refrigeration can check your system before it's too late. 256-652-1207. State license 08091. Captain Eck in the Valley Skywatch Traffic Center.
By now, you know about Eagle Masonry and Insulation, and maybe you know that Eagle also does landscaping and dirt work. But how about after paint work? Shower doors, shelving, and mirrors, all taken care of by Eagle, the same Eagle that takes care of all your masonry, insulation, and landscaping needs. Eagle brings the same level of expertise to all these disciplines, and they're ready to provide you with a free quote. The website is the same, insulatewitheagle.com, as is the phone number, 256-755-1556. Give them a call and see what Eagle can do for you. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
You've got to experience Toyotathon at Bill Penny Toyota. They've got the selection with over 700 new Toyotas to choose from. And they've got the extras with Bill Penny perks and a 10-year unlimited warranty. So get on over to Bill Penny Toyota today and experience Toyotathon. Bill Penny Toyota in Huntsville and online at BillPennyToyota.com. Bill Penny's Toyota 10-year unlimited warranty is valid through the 10th year of ownership. Valid on new vehicles only. See dealer for details.
Hi, my name is Dan Aldridge. I'm here to let you know about the Aldridge Law Firm and the soon-to-be-announced Legal Town Center. I've been practicing law in Alabama since 1984, and I also practice in Tennessee. And I'm from North Alabama, and I'm here to represent you and take care of your legal needs. For many of us, hiring an attorney is not high on the priority list and maybe a little scary, but it's something that we all need at some point. So by all means, do your homework. And if you need representation for car accident, wrongful death, medical malpractice, nursing home abuse, or estate planning, or any other matter, just give us a call at 256-534-3188. And you can email me at Dan, that is Dan at danaldridgelaw.com. Dan at danaldridgelaw.com. God bless America.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
You don't have to go somewhere else just so you can go somewhere new. Plan your next vacation with Huntsville International Airport and Breeze Airways. Enjoy friendly, convenient, nonstop travel to some of the most exciting destinations in the U.S., including the home of 12 world-famous theme parks, Orlando, Florida. With flights starting as low as just $49, Breeze has got you covered with easy, breezy, nonstop flights to Orlando. Make all their dreams come true. Book nonstop to Orlando now at flybreeze.com.
This segment of Talkin' Ball is brought to you by University Kia, the #1 volume Kia dealer in the state of Alabama. Located online at universitykia.com. It's time for tomorrow's headlines today with Scott Tyson and Drew DeArmond on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Well, we most certainly have our headlines. Yeah. Tomorrow, AL.com will have their headlines, and a lot of that will come from tonight. AL.com's Jimmy Lay joining us like he does each and every Friday to kind of help us sort out what's going on around the high school football landscape.
Yeah, and he'll be doing a big game tonight himself, North Jackson and Westminster.
You got a big one, Jimmy.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir. Big game tonight. Region 4A, Region 8 is such a tight region. You got a lot of teams up there at the top, but there's only 4 spots, and you really got about 6 teams trying to get those 4 spots. And these last, as you mentioned, Scott, this Amen corner for everybody is going to be so important. Westminster, good grief, North Jackson, they're coming for Westminster tonight. I remember last year when we left Stevenson and Westminster put up 55 on them, and they weren't too happy about that. So, as Coach LeBlanc said, they all celebrated Brandon Mush's graduation. Going to be a big game for them tonight, and if they can get that win tonight, they can really I don't think they lock up a playoff spot, but they can really go a long way to not only lock up a playoff spot, but possibly being able to host a first-round playoff game. But got to get that done. But there's so many other games tonight. We'll be looking at Arab at Scottsboro. That's a big game, in 5A. You got Jasper at Hartselle.
That's big.
I'll be writing something. Yeah. Big. Jasper's really come on. They were terrible last year. I think they only won 1 game, and they've really come on this year. And probably the biggest game, Austin at James Clemens tonight. Going to be such a big game. My buddy Thomas Ashworth will be there covering that game tonight, and that's probably going to decide 7A Region 4. Mm-hmm. And so we'll just see, how that turns out. Central Florence, man, I can't believe they lost to Deschler last week. I really thought that they had Deschler's number this year, but man, Deschler has come on after a slow start. But Central Florence is at West Morgan. So if they want to get a get-back game, they were to go to West Morgan and win that game, man, that would be huge. Not sure I see that happening tonight, but they're going to be tough. That wing tee is always hard to defend. But just a lot of great high school football tonight. It should be a beautiful night for football, Scott.
I don't do the voices. That's Scott's job. That's Scott's job. He does the vampires and all that stuff.
we were all laughing when we made that commercial. We wanted to be the Count from Sesame Street. Remember him?
Oh yeah.
1 fish, 2 fish, 3 fish, 4.
It sounded more like Count Chocula, man.
I know.
Oh, there we go.
Which, by the way, was a good cereal back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They could have Uncle Keith's red sauce.
Not
No,
putting
I'm
that on Count Chocula.
No, I'd never do that.
All right, Jimmy. Thanks for the phone call, bud.
Thanks, Jimmy. Looking forward to the call tonight, man. Have a
You'll
good
hear
call.
Jimmy Lay and
Josh Carey.
Josh Carey on Zone 5 for that
Yeah.
one. By the way, remember Alan Green?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got a new job.
Where's he going now?
He is going to be the athletic director.
Yeah.
I believe for Pittsburgh.
Pitt?
I believe that's where he is going. I have it sitting right here.
Nice.
Pittsburgh. They are expected to hire Tennessee senior deputy AD Alan Green as the school's
Well,
next
hopefully on
athletic
his way out the door, he can see the Vols get their ass whipped by Alabama. He certainly watched Auburn do that.
Oh, all right. We've got to get a break in. Don't forget, you got high school football tonight. You got the Woody Anderson Ford High School Football Scoreboard Show powered by Lake Gunnersville Ace Hardware. It just rolls off the tongue, does it not?
Yeah.
Rolls off the tongue. Got all that coming for you. Make sure you have the app downloaded. Enjoy some Uncle Keith's red sauce and some pancakes.
Carrabba's Italian Grill is the best place to enjoy authentic Italian cuisine, passed down from our founders' family recipes. Featuring a wood-burning grill, you can enjoy Carrabba's signature dishes, including chicken brine, wood-fire grilled steak and chops, and classic Italian pasta dishes.